And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. How long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out, yeah. And do you see you got me falling?
How did we end up in this hellish place? Sarah and I were just looking for a weekend getaway, a break from the stress of our daily lives. We found this hotel online. It seemed like a decent place. A bit old-fashioned, but charming in its own way. We never expected it to be like this. After we checked in, we went up to our room. Everything seemed fine at first. We unpacked, talked about what we wanted to do during our stay, but then we heard strange noises coming from the hallway. It sounded like someone or something was out there. I went to check it out, leaving Sarah in the room, and that's when it all went wrong. The next thing I knew, I woke up in this cell. I have no idea how I got here or how long I've been trapped. And Sarah, she's missing. I don't know where she is, but I have to find her.
I gotta get out of this place. What's with these cuffs? Ugh, yuck. I sit alone in this cold, dark cell. The only sound, the constant drip of water echoing through the halls. The walls are made of stone and the door is thick and heavy, locked with a key that's just always out of reach. But I will not give up hope. I will not let this cell be my tomb. I have nothing but time, and I will use it to my advantage. I will craft a tool, a weapon to aid in my escape. With nothing but a small piece of metal and my own determination, I begin to fashion a crude tool. Day after day, I work tirelessly, honing and shaping it until it becomes sharp and strong. I will use this tool to pick the lock, to break the chains that bind me. But as the days pass, I cannot shake the feeling of being watched. I can hear whispers in the darkness, a sinister laughter that seems to come from the very walls themselves. I fear that I am not alone in the cell, that there is something far more sinister lurking in the shadows. But I will not let fear defeat me. I will use this tool and escape this prison, no matter what horrors I may face. I will not rest until I am free. This'll do the trick.
Well, a couple of times a year, our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, is obliged to invite her principal and his wife over for dinner.
This may come in handy.
The fact that she's extremely fond of Mrs. Conklin and feels rather differently about her principal presents a problem.
Yes. How to sprinkle ground glass in the food without getting them both. I was expecting the Conklins and Mr. Boynton for dinner last Thursday evening, but much to my surprise, Mrs. Conklin came over as I was finishing breakfast that morning.
Good morning, Miss Brooks.
Why, Mrs. Conklin, aren't you a little early? Dinner won't be ready for 11 hours yet.
Oh, it's nothing like that. I had to see you before you went to school today. Oh, Miss Brooks, ever since you mentioned that beaver stole to me 10 days ago, I've decided I wanted it for Christmas more than I wanted anything for a long time.
Well, I think you should have it, Mrs. Conklin.
And so do I. After being married to Osgood for 20 years, I think I deserve a fur piece.
After being married to Osgood for 20 years, you deserve the Brooklyn Bridge. You certainly do.
Well, in the last 10 days, I've tried everything to get it. However, the day before yesterday, I hit upon the perfect solution to my entire problem. But I'm going to need your help. I simply want you to give this special delivery letter to Osgood. It came after he left the house this morning.
That's all you want me to do?
Certainly. The contents of this letter from his cousin really ought to do the trick.
But how do you know the contents?
I wrote it.
You wrote it? Why, I had no idea you were his cousin, too.
Oh, Miss Brooks, Mr. Conklin's cousin is in on this little hoax with me. She sent this letter from Cedarville, where we were married. You see, I asked myself when was the only time Osgood ever gave me everything I wanted. Then I remembered it was when he was courting me, so I decided to have him court me all over again.
But how are you going to manage that?
Well, I got the idea from a movie I saw a few years ago. You see, this letter says that recently it was discovered that the justice of the peace who married us had done so without a license. So, technically, we're not married. Of course, Osgood will try to remarry me, and that's when I have him over a barrel.
I see. Well, it sounds fine, but there might be one...
10 people, all missing from this hotel. What happened to them?
Enjoy being over the barrel so much you might never get him off.
Daddy, I don't think a fur stole is asking for so much. After
After all, Mother has worked and slaved for us both all these years. Well, you have no idea the hardships she's had to endure.
As soon as I get home, remind me to unstrap her from in front of the plow. Harriet, your mother doesn't know the meaning of the word work. Apparently, all she knows is how to ask for things.
Oh, but Daddy, sure.
No sooner does she learn I'm making $300 extra by going on a lecture tour for Mr. Stone than she wants the first stove. Now, if you'll excuse me, Harriet, I can't think of anyone I'd rather converse with less at the moment. Who is it?
Miss Brooks, sir.
I spoke too soon. To my inner office, please, Harriet.
But, Daddy, can't I wait?
Vamoose, Vixen.
All right.
Come in, Miss Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin.
What is it, Miss Brooks? As brief as possible. As you can see, I have a desk piled high with paper.
Yes, sir. Those crossword puzzles do pile up if you don't get... I have a letter for you, sir. Your wife called and asked me if I'd drop it off. She thought it might be important. It's from your cousin in Cedarville.
Special delivery. Marked urgent. Goodness, I haven't heard from my cousin in 5 years. The last time she wrote me, her letter contained extremely bad news. Oh, I dread reading it. Well, might as well get it over with.
Must be terrible news. Awful news. Simply dreadful, huh? Horrible? I had no idea the news could be that bad.
Miss Brooks, I'm not married.
That's terrible, sir. Simply terrible. What happened?
Well, it seems there was a little mistake about my marriage, Miss Brooks. A remarkable little mistake. It seems the justice of the peace who married us wasn't really a justice of the peace at all.
Then who was it?
The best friend a man ever had.
I'm dead. Oh, but, sir, this is dreadful. Simply dreadful. After all these years. Well, you must remarry. I'm Mrs. Conklin, that's who.
Oh, it's great to be single. My pockets will jingle in the Miss Brooks, I feel like a bird who's just been let out of his cage. A convict who has just been released from jail.
Oh, it's Mr. Boynton's Mr. Cook. So then I suppose you and Mrs. Conklin won't be coming over for dinner tonight.
I and Martha Flyshacker will be delighted. We'll be delighted to come for dinner.
Martha Flyshacker?
My wife's maiden name.
No wonder she changed it to Conklin. Then you are coming over, sir?
Oh, certainly, certainly. I can't wait to get together with Boynton and discuss the good old single life.
Well, if you must discuss it, Mr. Conklin, at least don't do it in the presence of Mrs. Davis.
Why not, Miss Brooks?
The way things stand now, she's the only one left who might marry me. Well, Mrs. Conklin's hopes to convince our principal that they were never really married, and thereby get a fur coat when he re-courted her, backfired rather badly. So all morning long, I did my best to keep Mr. Boynton away from our ecstatic principal. The last time I stopped him occurred as he was leaving his laboratory just before noon. Why, Mr. Boynton, where are you going with those rabbit cages this time of day?
Well, I didn't think you'd mind if I took my rabbits, Henry and George, to lunch with us, Miss Brooks.
Not at all, Mr. Boynton. Maybe one of them will pick up the check.
It will certainly save me a trip. Otherwise, I'd have to come all the way back here with them after I see Mr. Conklin.
After you see Mr. Conklin?
Yes. I wanted to see the condition these cages are in. It's the only way I can persuade him to give me the money for some new ones.
Oh, well, today's the wrong day for that.
You said that to me twice before today about two other things. It almost seems as if you don't want me to see him.
Oh, now, Mr. Boynton, wherever did you get such a fantastic idea? Why shouldn't I want you to see him?
Oh, I don't know why. The few times I did catch sight of him today, he seemed excited and happy about something. I wonder what it is. Oh, well, I'll probably find out about it when I see him at your house tonight.
Tonight? Oh, I knew there was something I had to tell you, Mr. Boynton. The dinner for tonight has been canceled. Mrs. Davis is very ill.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Miss Brooks. Must have come on quite suddenly. What is it, flu? Virus? Bronchitis?
That's right.
Which one is it?
Take your pick. It's the flu, Mr. Boynton. So, of course, we won't be able to make it, but any other night would be just fine.
Hi, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, hello, Walter.
Boy, wait till you hear the latest about old Marblehead. Yeah, Mr. Conklin. He's declared tomorrow a half holiday and commissioned one of the kids to go out and buy up all the fireworks. Everyone thinks that Mr. Conklin finally snapped his cap.
You mean he's crazy?
Yeah, as truly as a hot tub cucaracha and a bowl of hot chili. Oh, by the way, Miss Brooks, Harriet told me if I ran into you that Mr. Conklin wanted to see you. There's something about canceling his date with you tonight. But be careful when you go into his office.
Well, perhaps I'd better go along with you, Miss Brooks, in case he gets violent.
Oh, don't worry about me, Mr. Boynton. I have a way with violent men. And if you don't believe me, please try me sometime.
Principal's office, Osgood Conklin himself speaking. Over.
Hello, Osgood. This is Mr. Stowe.
Oh, yes, Mr. Stone. How are you, sir?
Conklin, I just had a thought that should make you very happy. How would you like to take Mrs. Conklin along on your lecture tour? Conklin? Hello? Conklin, can you hear me?
I'm afraid I can.
What happened? Were you cut off?
Only my windpipe. That is, I was choked with happiness.
Good.
Is it essential that I take Mrs. Conklin along? I mean,
Yes, Conklin, it is essential. Is your wife free to go?
Sir, she's been free to go for the past 20 years. I mean, yes, of course she is.
Then she goes along regardless of what. Those are orders.
Yes, sir, regardless of what. Goodbye, sir. Well, Osgood, I guess there's no other choice. That's delightful to be married, to be married. Lady, come in.
Mr. Conklin, I understand you want to cancel the dinner engagement at my house. I guess you've decided to go out on the town to celebrate your newly found freedom.
Freedom? Oh, it's true, Miss Brooks. I did have some wild thoughts when you first handed me that letter this morning, but after a little sober reflection, there's nothing I want more than to be welcomed back into the warmth, comfort, and security of my happy little prison. Home.
Well, there's nothing standing in your way, is there, sir?
Oh, well, frankly, there is little something. In my momentary exuberance this morning, I called my wife and said some things that may have annoyed her a teensy bit.
A teensy-weensy bit.
She said she'd never speak to me again. Miss Brooks, I know you have some influence with her. I'm sure you could help me win her back.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Conklin. You know what they say about a woman scorned. Only a beaver stole can unscorn her.
Beaver stole?
There's a beauty on special for only $200. You do want her back in the next few weeks, don't you?
The next few weeks, I want her back at once. Not only do I love her, but Mr. Stone will cancel my lecture tour if she isn't.
Oh, I think I'm beginning to understand the urgency.
I did let the cat out of the bag, didn't I, Miss Brooks?
You let the cat out and the beaver in. See you at my house at 7, sir. Well, by 7 o'clock that night at my house, we were about ready to receive Mr. Conklin. Now, do we have our signal straight, Mrs. Conklin?
Well, I think so, Miss Brooks, but are you sure Osgood will come?
Of course he will, Martha. And don't worry, you'll get that beaver yet.
Mrs. Conklin, would Mr. Boynton be here now if I weren't sure of your husband's attitude? Believe me, it was difficult to convince him that Mrs. Davis had recovered after I told him she had the flu earlier today.
Oh, that explains it. I was wondering why he came in wearing a gauze mask before he...
Now, do you feel a little more confident, Mrs. Conklin?
Well, I guess so. Oh, my, I wonder if Phyllis Stone is having the same trouble with Mr. Stone.
Phyllis Stone?
Yes, Margaret. I told her about my marriage hoax, and she's trying the same trick to get a fur stole from Mr. Stone.
What? If this thing keeps spreading, we're all liable to wind up on Dragnet next week. Now,
Oh, goodness, that must be Osgood now.
remember what I told you. Play hard to get. Mrs. Davis, would you mind going into the kitchen and sending in Mr. Boynton? I want him to be a witness to Love's Old Sweet Song.
All right, dear. And in the meantime, I'll finish preparing dinner.
Now, we'll be right back, Mrs. Conklin.
Good evening, Miss Brooks.
Why, Mr. Beaver. Mr. Conklin. Come in, sir.
Now then, where is she, Miss Brooks? Where is my lovely, blushing child bride? Never mind, I know where she is.
Hello, Osgood.
Poopsie girl. Angel eyes. I'm back. Your Osgood is back. But what is this doctor doing with you?
Oh, you can take off the gauze mask now, Mr. Boynton. The flu bug is in the kitchen.
Oh, yes, of course.
Did you want to say something to me, Osgood?
Indeed, I do, Lotus Blossom. I didn't mean a thing I said on the phone this morning. Not a thing. I want to remarry you more than anything else in the world. Look, a peach face. Your Osgood wants you back more than he can tell you. He needs you back. Say the word, and we'll be remarried tonight.
Say the word?
The common household word is beaver. Say it, and you win the first soul plus a year's supply of mothballs.
Wanted to
How did we end up in this hellish place? Sarah and I were just looking for a weekend getaway, a break from the stress of our daily lives. We found this hotel online. It seemed like a decent place.
I gotta get out of this place. Ugh, yuck. I sit alone in this cold dark. This'll do the trick.
Well, a couple of times a year, our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, is obliged to invite her principal and his wife over for dinner. On these occasions, the fact that she's extremely fond of Mrs. Conklin and feels rather differently about her principal presents a problem.
Yes. How to sprinkle ground glass in the food
This may come in handy.
I was expecting the Conklins and Mr. Boynton for dinner last Thursday evening, but much to my surprise, Mrs. Conklin came over as I was finishing breakfast that morning.
Good morning, mister.
Why, Mrs. Conklin, aren't you a little early? Dinner won't be ready for 11 hours yet.
Oh, it's nothing like that. I had to see you before you went to school today. It's...
10 people, all missing from this hotel. What happened to them?
10 days ago. I've decided I wanted it for Christmas more than I wanted anything for a long time.
Well, I think you should have it, Mrs. Conklin.
And so do I. After being married to Osgood for 20 years, I think I deserve a fur piece.
After being married to Osgood for 20 years, you deserve the Brooklyn Bridge. You certainly do.
Well, in the last 10 days, I've tried everything to get it. However, the day before yesterday, I hit upon the perfect solution to my entire problem. But I'm going to need your help. I simply want you to give this special delivery letter to Osgood after he left the house this morning. Certainly. The contents of this letter from his cousin really ought to do the trick.
But how do you know the contents?
I wrote it.
You wrote it? Why, I had no idea you were his cousin, too.
Oh, Miss Brooks, Mr. Conklin's cousin is in on this little hoax with me. She sent this letter from Cedarville, where we were married. You see, I asked myself when was the only time Osgood ever gave me everything I wanted. Then I remembered it was when he was courting me, so I decided to have him court me all over again.
But how are you going to manage that?
Well, I got the idea from a movie I saw a few years ago. You see, This letter says that recently it was discovered that the justice of the peace who married us had done so without a license. So, technically, we're not married. Of course, Osgood will try to remarry me, and that's when I have him over the barrel.
I see. Well, it sounds fine, but there might be one possible catch.
What's that, Miss Brooks?
You might enjoy being over the barrel so much you might never get him.
But, Daddy, I don't think a first soul is asking for so much. After all, Mother has worked and slaved for us all these years. Well, you have no idea the hardships she's had to endure.
As soon as I get home, remind me to unstrap her from in front of the plow. Harriet, your mother doesn't know the meaning of the word work. Apparently, all she knows is how to ask for things.
Oh, but Daddy, sure.
No sooner does she learn I'm making $300 extra by going on a lecture tour for Mr. Stone than she wants a first soul. Now, if you'll excuse me, Harriet, I can't think of anyone I'd rather converse with less at the moment. Who is it? I spoke too soon. To my inner office, please, Harriet.
But, Daddy, can't I wait?
Vamoose, Vixen.
All right.
Come in, Miss Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin.
What is it, Miss Brooks? Please be as brief as possible. As you can see, I have a desk piled high with paper.
Yes, sir. Those crossword puzzles do pile up if you don't get them. I have a letter for you, sir. Your wife called and asked me if I'd drop it off. She thought it might be important. It's from your cousin in Cedarville.
Special delivery. Marked urgent. Goodness, I haven't heard from my cousin in 5 years. The last time she wrote me her letter... Bring the bad news. Let me see. Oh, I dread reading it. Well, might as well get it over with.
Must be terrible news, huh? Awful news. Simply dreadful, huh? Horrible? I had no idea the news could be that sad.
Miss Brooks, I'm not married.
That's terrible, sir. Simply terrible. What happened?
Well, it seems there was a little mistake about my marriage, Miss Brooks. A remarkable little mistake. It seems the justice of the peace who married us wasn't really a justice of the peace at all.
Then who was he?
The best friend a man ever had.
Oh, but, sir, this is dreadful. Simply dreadful. After all these years. Well, you must remarry at once.
But who?
I'm Mrs. Thompson, that's who.
Oh, it's great to be single. My pockets will jingle in the Miss Brooks, I feel like a bird who's just been let out of his cage. A convict who has just been released from...
The Sleep Number Climate 360 Smart Bed is the only smart bed in the world that actively cools, warm,
Always good to do a candle used to clear block.
Water echoing through the... I will use...
Ah. Victims of the Cecil. I didn't want to obviously do that, and so you're hearing names of people who are not real. But it is very based on the real hotel. Ooh. Will tell. Oh my god. Why am I so nervous? This on here, I think. There we go.
Virus? Or bronchitis?
That's right.
Which one is it?
Take your pick. It's the flu, Mr. Barnum. So, of course, we... Boy, wait till you hear the latest about old Marblehead. Yes, Mr. Conklin. He's declared tomorrow a half... one of the kids to go out and buy up all the fireworks he can find. Everyone thinks that Mr. Conklin's finally snapped his cap. You mean he's crazy? Yeah, as screwy as a hopped-up cucaracha and a bowl of hot chili. Oh, by the way, Miss Brooks, Harriet told me if I ran into you that Mr. Conklin wanted to see you. There's something about canceling his date with you tonight. But be careful when you go into his...
Perhaps I'd better go along with you, Miss Brooks, in case he gets violent.
Oh, don't worry about me, Mr. Boynton. I have a way with violent men. And if you don't...
Okay.
My pockets will jingle. Principal's office, Osgood Conklin himself speaking. Over.
Hello, Osgood. This is Mr. Stowe.
Oh, yes, Mr. Stone. How are you, sir?
Conklin, I just have to make you very happy. How would you like to take Mrs. Conklin along on your lecture tour? Conklin? Hello? Conklin, can you hear me?
I'm afraid I can.
What happened? Were you cut off?
Only my windpipe. That is, I was choked with happiness.
Good.
Mr. Stone, is it absolutely...
Got it.
Should I take Mrs. Conklin along? I mean to say
Yes,
that...
Conklin, it is essential. Is your wife free to go?
Sir, she's been free to go for the past 20 years. I mean, yes, of course she is.
Then she goes along regardless of what. Goes on orders.
Yes, sir, regardless of what. Goodbye, sir.
Now, it's time to find Sarah. Hello? Is anybody in here? Huh?
Good evening, esteemed guests. Welcome to the really owned Cecil Hotel. We hope you are comfortable. We understand that the world outside can be a frightening place, and that you've chosen to stay with us for a safe getaway. As you settle in, please remember to lock your doors and windows. Enjoy your stay at the Cecil Hotel. Ah, and remember, curiosity killed the cat, the cat, the cat, the cat. Ah, good night. He's early.
Welcome, John. I've been... Hello? Is anybody in here? Huh?
Good evening, esteemed guests. Welcome to the really owned Cecil Hotel. We hope you are comfortable. We understand that the world outside can be a frightening place, and that you've chosen to stay with us for a safe getaway. As you settle in, please remember to lock your doors and windows. Enjoy your stay at the Cecil Hotel. And remember, curiosity killed the cat, the cat, the cat, the cat. Good boy. He's sorry.
John, I've been expecting you. What the hell is that? What does he want from me?
First saved voice message.
Hey there, it's me. I hope you're holding up okay. Listen, I've got something important to tell you. I stumbled upon a clue that might just be our ticket out of this nightmare. You know that painting, The Last Supper? Well, it turns out it holds a secret, but you'll need to shed some light on it. Make sure the light faces the painting, and it'll reveal a hidden path. Follow that path, and who knows, it might just lead us to freedom. But here's the thing, Olivia. Dr. Zimmer's lurking around, always watching, always scheming. Keep your guard up, stay sharp, and don't let him catch you. We're in this together, and we'll get through it. I believe in you. Stay safe, my friend.
End of messages.
We shall see, John. We shall see.
I have to be quiet.
Dear Diary, I don't even know where to begin. The last few months have been so dark. Like I'm stuck at the bottom of a pit, and every time I try climbing out, I just sink lower. I feel like a shadow of myself. And I miss James so much. Being apart from him physically hurts. I lie awake at night, replaying our last moments together before he shipped off. I'm terrified each day may be the one I get news he's gone forever. The hotel is unbearable now. The manager is a bully who threatens to fire me if I say anything about the bizarre stuff happening around here lately. The guests are so rude and demanding too. I hate every minute wandering these halls now. It's like the life has been sucked out of this place. And get this, there's some creepy guy in glasses who keeps popping up wherever I'm working. He just stares and lurks in corners. It's the most unnerving thing. I don't know what he wants, but he's bad news. I can just feel it.
Time capsule.
I better keep searching. I'm not done here. The ballroom seems to be a place of interest. I'd better head there now. The Cecil Hotel has a reputation for darkness, John. Who the fuck are you? Good luck. Holy shit. How do you like my new creation, John? You're no match for my minions. The ballroom seems to be a place of interest. I'd better head there now. Is this all in my head? The Cecil Hotel has a reputation for darkness, John. Who the fuck are you? Good luck. Holy shit. How do you like my new creation, John? You're no match for my minions.
This new ice method can flip your metabolism into a fat-eating machine while you sleep. Doctors thought